If you've been in the night vision community long enough, when the topic of the PVS 7 is brought up, people will describe it like this. Yeah, a lot of people really seem to hate this thing. This is the PVS 7, a binocular night vision goggle that was first adopted by the US military in 1988. My particular PVS 7 is an Omni 7 contract Generation 3 image intensifier tube. Quite a few of these things wound up on the surplus market in the late 2000s, and for a while, many people considered them to be a cheap, approachable entry point to try out night vision. These days, however, it seems like the very mention of a PVS 7 will get you laughed at. Let's take a look at what it offers and see if it's really as bad as people say. Let's start with the downsides. The one I see most people complain about is the binocular arrangement of the device. In a nutshell, the PVS 7 takes in light from a single image intensifier tube and splits that image with a mirror to present it to both eyes. The issue with this is the loss of depth perception that you would otherwise have with a dual tube setup. Although with practice you can get used to it, the binocular configuration is a hindrance that you will have to train around. Because the intensifier tube is centered in the device, you're realistically limited to only being able to aim a rifle with an IR laser. Although this doesn't matter on a flat range, your ability to engage other night vision users becomes compromised. With more and more people these days actually utilizing night vision, the ability to aim through an optic is far more favorable. Remember, if you're aiming with an IR laser, a night vision equipped adversary can literally see you aiming at them. The last downside is the one that happens to bug me the most, the eye relief. It's absolutely atrocious. I swear I have to have my eyes smushed into the eye cups just to see the full image. If you're using it handheld, this really isn't an issue. But on a helmet, I have yet to find a single mount that puts the device close enough to my face to present a usable image. This rules out being able to use safety glasses, as the standoff between the ocular lens and my glasses just destroys the view I would have otherwise had. So now that I spent all this time trashing the 7, does it have any upsides? Well, it does have a few. It is legitimate Generation 3 night vision. If you can work around these handicaps, the light amplification that it offers is on par with modern day offerings. The night vision community as a whole tends to turn their nose up at the PVS 7, but you can commonly find them for sub $1,500. My example cost me $1,350 in 2023. When compared to a PVS 14, which hovers at around $2,000, for some people those savings are enough to justify buying the 7 instead. This might sound pretty stupid, but I love the battery cap on this thing. It's absolutely huge and requires no effort to open. When you're in the dark, wearing gloves, and it's cold, being able to grasp and twist a massive knob like this is just convenient. I can recall several times where I had to stop what I'm doing and consciously put effort into not cross-threading the cap on my duals. That's just not an issue with the 7, and I really do appreciate that. So is it right for you? Well, like most use cases, you have to be the judge. I find that the 7 makes a good handheld unit, similar to how you might use a thermal. For a helmet-mounted unit though, monocular and binocular options are much better. All of this aside, I still really like the PVS 7. Military media from my childhood showed it front and center, and planted it in the cultural zeitgeist of my mind. As we move into the 2020s, I see it as a pseudo-retro piece of kit that just looks pretty cool. The gear community is quick to say how one piece of obsolete kit fucks, while the other one is cringe, and that's just stupid. I, for one, will continue to enjoy my obsolete gear. Thanks for watching, guys. Inspiration for this video came from YouTube user TackFrog, who put up a pretty cool video on the Russian version of the PVS 7, the PNV-10T. I recommend you to check him out as he's a relatively small channel and produces very good content from a European perspective. Until next time, this is Fairfax.